welcome to our second First Friday. This is our final monthly First Friday event for 2024 to 25 academic year. I'm Liao, the head of Outreach. So just share a little bit for our Comm Lead First Friday background for those new to Comm Lead. These are our monthly career networking events where we connect with companies and organizations in different industry, and we invite alumni and industry experts to share their insights on different topics like career development or industry trends. And as Kathryn just mentioned, like today we are very excited to spotlight SAP. And we have many alumni and Comm Lead students. They did their internship and work at SAP, and Kathryn is one of them. Because I think we met with each other 4 years ago at Comm Lead Town Hall events. Yeah. Kathryn reached out to me and say, "Hey, Leah, we wanna do a great event with Comm Lead because we are actively hiring." So that's how we get it started. And Kathryn is also our alumni fellow this year, and she is joined by two other Comm Lead alumni, Chai and Ayana. So Kathryn, I will hand it over to you to introduce more about yourself and your colleague. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. And definitely, I would say today it's so nice to be able to do this event remotely and on a Friday afternoon. I would just say SAP is very much a remote friendly organization. I know not every organization is, but it also is just really special to have Chai here because I referred Chai and that's really cool to do this kind of networking thing. I came over, I was working in a business to consumer organization. I was working as a director of marketing in the hospitality field. Before that, I was a public school teacher. I was a high school Spanish teacher. And I wanted to do something different. And so I was a high school Spanish teacher, and then I was a director of marketing for a resort in hospitality, and I decided I wanted to do something different. And so while working in hospitality and also while raising two small children, and I went to grad school as well, and I commuted every day from the Olympia area, and I did a ride share with another Comm Lead student for 3 years. Austin Jenkins was who I rode with, who was another student, and we rode up to do the classes. And then during that time, I decided to do this program, and I lost my job in hospitality, and immediately was recruited, and they saw my degree in Comm Lead, and they were like, "Oh, this is a really great job." And this weird tech company called SAP Concur was like, "Your master's degree? That is so interesting." And I was like, "I have no idea what this SAP company is." And they were like, "We really, really value your degree. That master's degree is really interesting. And just so you know, they really value this degree." And so they hired me, and I totally transformed my career to be able to work in a remote friendly environment, to be a mom of young children, and to be able to do this program, and totally opened up the opportunity. So this program is really, really valuable. And I just really, really encourage you to be open to change, and also to network and do these kinds of events remotely, but also in person if you can, because it's a really, really valuable program. So thanks for coming to this. Loved, and these ladies also, I have met them in person, but also done things remotely with them as well. So thanks for coming to this.
Thank you, Kathryn. Chai, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. Hi everyone, I'm Chai Yang. I work at SAP Concur, and like Kathryn said, she's the one who referred me. And I saw this job opening back in 2022. I graduated from Comm Lead in 2021. So after Comm Lead, my first full-time role is a content marketing manager at a smaller tech company in Redmond. And after working there for a little bit more than a year, I decided to pivot my career into a marketing analytics area. And then I saw Comm Lead's job newsletter, and Kathryn said, "Oh, there's a opening in SAP Concur," and I reached out to her and went through all the interviews, then got the offer. Now I am at SAP Concur for almost 3 years. So really couldn't believe that, because like times really fly and when you're doing things you like. So yeah, it's been a great journey so far, and I really enjoy my work here. Like I said in that line, I love analyzing marketing data, and whenever I'm free, I also love yoga and cats, and it's really great to be back to the Comm Lead event. It's like a full circle to me, and yeah, hopefully we'll have great conversations today. And yeah, I'll pass over the mic to Ayana.
Good day. Hi everyone. I'm Ayana. I'm was in cohort 21. Before joining the program, I was working in Japan. I'm from Japan, and I was working for like pharmaceutical company, and I did kind of so many different roles. Like I did sales strategy development for a while, then I explored like business operations area, then data analysis and digital marketing. But I decided I am most interested in marketing, and I wanted to deepen my knowledge and skill set. So that's why I moved. I quit job in Japan. I moved to the States to join the Comm Lead. And during the summer quarter, luckily I got an internship role at SAP Concur. And I was working full-time while I continued the master's program. And then luckily after I graduated, I was converted to a full-time role. And I do marketing, like content management and optimization area. So I'd love to talk about that area today. Comm Lead for me is like, I know there are so many international students in the program, and it is so difficult, at least was difficult for me to like pivot my career experience in Japan into something I can utilize in the US. But I think the program really helped me like understand what is marketing in the US, and what is what the trend is, and what we need to know and stuff. So yeah, I'm really glad I joined the program, and today I'm excited to talk to you guys all. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ayana.
Mhm.
Things you share about like you do marketing and campaigns at SAP probably will have you to talk a little bit more about like at SAP, like what did you do to create and execute campaigns for global market and operations.
Yes, yeah, sure. So I am on global marketing team, and I do marketing content operations. So yeah, I'd like to talk a little bit about these two topics, focusing on what they look like at SAP Concur. First, I'd like to introduce what our global integrated marketing team does at Concur. So our team's role is to be a global center of excellence for brand, creative content, and messaging. Since SAP is a global company, marketing strategies varies in different markets to reflect their market situations and needs. However, at the same time, we have to ensure that information we deliver to our customers is consistent and representing our company brand. So our team does this by creating global messaging and global content that can be adapted by local markets. And to look at more detailed process of how we do it, I put the global campaign content creation and execution process in the slide. Our team develop a campaign package every year based on market research and that year's company strategy. This package includes messaging guideline and marketing content like ebooks and brochures that goes onto the concur.com website. and supporting assets to help promote the web page content, such as like email template, social creatives, blogs, and webinars. And once the package is created, we distribute it within the internal stakeholders by creating playbooks to introduce the package and content tracker to track the usage of content. And we also host enable sessions for other marketing teams. Our team does not execute marketing campaigns, but once the content is released, local marketers choose which assets they want to use in their own market and translate and localize the content. Then publish the localized content on their own country's website. And now the content is out in the world, and the local marketers work together with the sales team to promote the content in campaigns to reach customers. So this is the process of how our team creates content and execute the content. And now if we can go to the next slide. Here I want to look at the other topic, marketing content operations. So really, what is marketing content operation? And when I ask the question, there are so many different definitions, but here I put an answer I got from ChatGPT. So there are 4 key functions of marketing content operations. First is data management, which includes handling and analyzing data to inform marketing decisions. And second is campaign management, which includes planning, executing, and monitoring marketing campaigns. Third, content management, organizing and maintaining content in a way that makes it easily accessible and reusable. Then finally, reporting analytics, meaning measuring the effectiveness of marketing activities and strategies. And why marketing content operation is important is because it brings these 3 key impacts on the right side. First impact is enhanced efficiency by streamlining the content creation and distribution process, saving time and resources of the organization. And then it's also key to improve quality of marketing content, ensuring that content is consistent, high quality, and aligned with brand standards. Then finally, it helps boost performance of the content by optimizing content strategies to achieve better engagement and results. So now in the next slide, this is my last slide, but here, combining these 2 topics together, I will just share what marketing content operations for global campaign content looks like at SAP Concur. I explained the process of our global marketing team developing and distributing content and local marketing teams executing campaigns utilizing the global content. And below that process in the slide, I put what I do daily as someone who manages marketing content operation for the global marketing team. When the team develops content, we develop a list of content in project management tool so that everyone is aware of what content is coming and their development status. And I track the status daily to ensure timely delivery of content. And then when the content is created and ready for distribution, I publish the content to internal content management platforms. Concur has multiple platforms where we store the marketing content, including like HighSpot, SharePoint, and Rike. And because of this, optimizing content repositories is very important. So I analyze how much people are viewing and using our team's content in these internal platforms and develop plans of how best we can showcase our content in these platforms for better visibility and accessibility for the internal users. Then in the execution stage, when the local marketing teams adapt the content, I track which assets are adapted by which markets in the project management tool and analyze the trend of adoption. Also, once the content is localized and used in a campaign, it will have new URLs and campaign information. So I track this information in CRM tool and organize this data to be used for content performance analysis. And finally, after the marketing campaign starts and the content is being promoted to the external customers, I analyze its performance by looking at different metrics at different marketing funnel stages. So, like the data we look at includes engagement on different channels and on the website, as well as sales impact the content contributed to generate. These analysis data will be summarized in multiple kinds of reports, and I host performance review meetings to go through these reports with stakeholders and decide on future content creation and campaign plans. So this is what I do as a content manager at Concur. And I believe the key of the marketing operation here is to really ensure the process of utilizing the content is optimized, and the data analysis and content data management to enable the analysis plays a really important role for that. Okay, so yeah, and this is everything I wanted to share. Hopefully these slides help you get an image of what marketing operation looks like for global marketing. And now I will hand over to Chai, who will talk about digital marketing analytics and insights.
Yeah, thank you, Ayana. So for my section, I will introduce digital marketing analytics and what my team is. So I work for marketing analytics and insights team at SAP Concur, short for MAI. Our team designs and maintains reports and share insights with marketing stakeholders about how efficient marketing spend is and how each channels perform every month. So basically, we want to promote the data-driven culture across the marketing organization within SAP Concur. So my team has 10 people, 10, 11, and we could be divided into two parts. One is intelligence, the other one is strategies. And for the intelligence side, they manage all the Tableau dashboards and reports. And for the strategy sides, we have 3 different areas. Some of the strategists, they analyze data specific to enterprise, some to small, medium companies. And for me, I specify in digital. So what is digital marketing analytics? It's about using data to evaluate how marketing is performing. This includes things like website visits, ad clicks, email opens, and social media engagements. The main goal of the analytics is to understand user behaviors and use that insights to guide smarter marketing decisions, including changing the website design, content, and strategy. So essentially, analytics turns marketing into a science. It tells us what's working, what's not. And instead of relying on intuition or guesswork, we use real data to optimize campaigns and prove the value of digital marketing to stakeholders. So these are some basic metrics when we evaluate digital performance. From the TOEFL, the awareness section, we have like brand search, and this could be from advertising team or social media team. And then for the middle part, we call it MOFU, demand generations. And this would be all about the websites, including the traffic and how many people fill out the forms and how many inquiries we receive from all of the digital channels. And lastly is the sales and pipeline. This is the area that the marketing leaders cares the most because they want to see if their investments has some good results. So yeah, each one of these metrics give us insights into different part of the buyer journey. And on the right, I listed a few tools when it comes to digital marketing analytics. So take SAP Concur, for example. For me, I use Adobe Analytics every day, and our paid social teams, they also manage their social campaigns, Meta ads, Google ads. And for email tools, we have Marketo. For data visualizations, we use Tableau and SAC, which is SAP Analytics Clouds. And for CRM system, we use Salesforce. So basically, there are a lot of tools out there, and most of them, their official websites all have resources for you to take courses or certificate. But I won't say that you need to be familiar with all of them because that's impossible. But I would recommend to be at least familiar with one of them. So if you want to apply to a data-related marketing role in the future, then you can say that you know the concept and you know one of the tools. So lastly, I listed a few steps that I will go through every month when it comes to my work. So on the left, like once a month wrap up, we have a whole month of data to analyze. Then I'll look at digital marketing channels month over month and year over year volume and percentage change to see what channel is performing well or if anything looks weird. And then I'll create some actionable insights and recommendations and share those results with the digital marketing team and other marketing stakeholders. After finishing the presentations, they might have discovered some opportunities to improve. And for all of the markets that we support, they all have their quarterly targets. So from the reports, they can also see how well they are or how behind they need to push for the rest of the month. And lastly, the channel leaders and the marketing leaders or channel owners, like they will act based on the insights and recommendations, maybe like change some of the strategies or apply some campaigns to different markets or different channels. And eventually, we hope that what we analyze for those insights that we share, those will help the channels and markets reach their quarterly targets. So to sum up with digital analytics, we use actual data to decide which strategies are worth investing in, whether that's content, social ads, or email campaigns. One of the biggest benefits is to track the return on the marketing investment, which we call it ROMI. So by analyzing campaign performance, we can shift budget to high-performing channels and cut what's not working, which leads to better returns with less waste. Analytics can also help reveal how prospects interact and engage with the websites. We don't need to wait for weeks to see the results. We can monitor the campaigns that they run, spot issues early, and make live adjustments. And for the analysis on the right, those are the key results that we expect. So we hope that by analyzing the data, we can get better conversion rates and the cost per lead will also be lower. And for the websites, people will engage with our content more often than before. And yeah, so that's basically what I do at SAP Concur within my team. And that will be it.
Cool. Thank you, Chai.
Yeah, thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you so much. So awesome to see all of that. And I'm just gonna quickly talk about what is content strategy at SAP and what my colleagues shared before it and is just like so important to talk about how you're going to track all of this stuff. I mean, and just generally stating what goes into a content strategy is so important. So a content strategy is kind of overall holistic approach to overall delivering information of what our audience, whatever audience you're trying to what your audience wants at every single stage of their journey across all of the channels. It charts kind of who, what, and notably how you're going to address specifically their needs across that entire journey, and impacts like what that business impacts via whatever that content is. So you can see that right here. I have the pleasure of creating the content strategy. Right now, I'm the content strategist for all of sustainability at SAP. I before was the content strategist for HCM, which is called Human Capital Management, which is kind of like people-based products. Success Factors was the product. Before I worked within Concur with Chai and Ayana. So I've had the pleasure of working around in a few different areas of product, but right now I'm in sustainability, which is actually cross topic. So it's all of SAP. But just talking about overall content strategy, we really want to focus on, and it's very, very collaborative. So really want to focus on creating an end-to-end impactful, connected conversations with our customers. It's very user focused and really squeezing the most out of all the content that we have and just making sure there's a really clear purpose for that content. So when I'm talking talking about creating a new piece of content at whatever stage of the journey, it's aligned with whatever narrative is going on, the go-to-market strategies or different marketing plans. I'm looking at all of those different things before I just create something new. And I'm doing an ongoing inventory of what is there rather than just creating new things, and I'm aligning with other people's plans. But just like Chai just shared, I'm always making all of my decisions based on data and research and performance before I do anything. And before I even get started, I do detailed content briefs. And if I go through all of that research and data and I decide, oh, I'm not going to do this, I don't do it. I make sure that everything is very measurable with key performance indicators and aligned to different parts of the journey. And I'm always optimizing. I'm always looking at something and launching it and then evaluating that data that Chai was just very deep looking at and sharing, and then looking at what's going on in the marketplace, and looking at that data and then adjusting and optimizing. And it's really, really fun. I mean, I think that's really, really like the most exciting thing. I used to be a heavy creator of content. I've done video production and podcast creation and organic social, and I've written lots of white papers and infographics and web copy. In my career, I've done a lot of creation, but I would say like in my career now, I'm a lot now focused more on optimization and overall holistic content strategy. And that's a lot of fun. It takes a lot of listening and empathy and I would just say that in particular, like in a global role, like I think Ayana was talking about, I heard her say, as an international student, like, how do you translate that? Like, I would just say that is a skill. I mean, I had the pleasure in my last role of working with a woman who she moved from Japan as well. I don't know. I don't know if you remember her, Sarah Beaufait. She was on my team, and she moved from Japan as well. And like it was really great because she was able to provide a lot of the perspectives from Japan in human capital management content. Oh, Sarah's your mentor. And we were able to create content that was resonated with our APJ audiences. Well, yeah, I mean, and for our webinars, you know, and things like that. But it was still, it's really, really a wonderful experience. But we were able to resonate with our personas and our targets and things like that in a really impactful way. But I will just say that in the Comm Lead program, talking about SAP, it's very much a global sense. So, I mean, I would say content strategy is about listening and optimizing and looking at those topics and themes. Ayana and Chai work specifically in one area of a product. And what I get to do is look at all of the products across all of SAP and look at how all of the different products at SAP work together. And then talk about all the different campaign channels and build strategies and optimize across all of them. I know we're really short on time, and I want to give an opportunity to move into those breakout rooms. So you're welcome to kind of ask me questions and make sure we have room for that. Liao, I see you giving me the eye there to see if we can have the opportunity to do that. So I hope that was helpful. And thank you so much for the opportunity to share a little bit. So I'm happy to break into Q&A if that works.
Sure, sounds good. Thank you so much, Kathryn, Chai, and Ayana for sharing the insights about SAP. For our students and new admitted students, feel free to drop your questions in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask questions directly. And while you're typing your question or waiting for more questions to come through, Kathryn, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about SAP, because we have new students, they're not in Comm Lead yet, or international students who are not in the US yet, they may not be familiar with SAP. It might be their first time to hear about it. So
Yeah.
Tell us more about what SAP do. Yeah.
Sure. So SAP is a company that the headquarters is in Germany. But I would say they have an office in Bellevue. I am mostly remote. I would say that the Concur group, I think they do like to have many of the colleagues go into the office a few times a week. I would say I don't, but it's also because most of my colleagues are based in Europe. Most of my colleagues are based in the Netherlands or Johannesburg or the UK. In Germany. So I have early morning calls. And so it really depends on your team and your product area that you're working within. So it's very international based. Oh, I see Tong Tong. That's awesome. Tong Tong used to work here with us. We miss her. But I would say it's a global company. I think that we used to be more kind of on-premise based in terms of an organization. We're going through a pretty large transformation to be more cloud-based. Concur is fully cloud-based, but I would say like we've made significant strides to be more of a cloud-based organization. I'd say like heavy focus on AI, heavy focus on integration and suite kind of packaging. It is, but the company's been around for a long, long time. It's, like 56, is that right, Chai? 56 years, 57 years. So it's been around quite a while. And so it's a legacy organization. And I think it's maybe the largest tech company in Europe. It's a pretty large organization. We have a lot of internship opportunities. In fact, that's something that I really recommend. I would say, yeah, thank you so much for adding that. I really do recommend, I would say like at least before, but like we used to really hire most of our interns. I don't know if that's changing, but I would say like we have a very, very heavy focus on early talent. And there are a ton of internship and fellowship opportunities, and they're paid. Some of them are remote and some of them are in person. It really depends. I would also just say that there's a heavy opportunity for just like mentorship opportunities. The website online is okay in terms of looking for job opportunities, but the best thing I can suggest is just like go onto the careers page and just set up job alerts. And then you're always welcome to send me an email. I won't speak for Ayana or Chai, but you are always welcome to send me an email. You are always welcome to connect to me about job opportunities and things like that, and just ask me a question about something, and I'm happy to chat with you. Molly, I see a question. Content. I will read your question, but you can come off mute too. I have a question about content deliverables from content strategy perspective. How important is storytelling? Do you have value iconic identity materials? For example, I am thinking in particular about myth making, drawing your audience by using literary devices and symbolic messaging. Thank you so much. Yeah, for sure. So this is a great question, Molly. I think sometimes, and this is like a brand thing. So like this depends on like if your brand team approves this, like essentially avatars, if your brand is okay with this. Our brand team has gone this way a little bit. Storytelling is important. Then running things like in the Comm Lead, if any of you have taken Lauren Kessler's class in storytelling and the narrative arc, if you have a chance to do that, do it. She's great. But beginning, middle, and end, narrative arc, yeah, she's great. Storytelling, yes. But I mean, the myth making, it all depends on the style guide of what your corporate brand team allows, right? The closest parallel I will say to this, and I'm going to say this a little tongue in cheek, is the iconic identity of the value proposition of your products. Like especially when it comes to like using like an AI avatar. Cause like you got like I look at some of the value proposition guidelines of products, like it's like I kind of shrug sometimes and I'm like, really? Like, I guess. Like, and I'll be like, oh, this product does all of these amazing things. And I'm like, I guess it does. Like, I'm not a large enterprise corporation. I don't know really if this product actually achieves all of these amazing value propositions. So like that's the myth. That's where I see it. Like that's how I would translate that, Molly. Like that's where I would take that. And the closest I can say to it representing that myth is, and it sounds weird, but kind of cool, is SAP just approved, and I've seen it in the flesh, air quotes. SAP just approved the use of using avatars to act out in product demo videos and feature overview videos, like describing this stuff. But you can use it also in like explainer videos. Like, here's how you achieve this thing. Here's the concept. So yeah, like when it comes to like corporate stuff, like, yeah, the storytelling works in that way. Does that kind of help?
Well, it has to be authentic, right?
Yes. It has to be accurate, not authentic and accurate. Like, I think the reality is, I am not the recipient of, I'm not a large enterprise organization or a small to medium-sized business receiving the end, of the product value. But I would say in terms of being the content, the person owning the content product, like the content production. Yeah, I say the storytelling myth of this product or this collection of products and solutions can offer this value proposition of achieving these things. This is the myth, you know. So yeah, I think it, and so I'm going to tell this story that it can do these things. And here's this infographic or here's this video that says it can achieve these things.
What, real quick,
Yeah.
what about the story of the organization itself and not necessarily a product or service, but like sort of the identity of the organization?
I mean, I'm not in corporate branding, but yeah, I mean, I guess maybe, do you have something more specific?
No, I'm just sort of feeling out whether this is something that companies value. And I know that, you know, iconic identity writing, you know, does happen. And, you know, the classic example is the myth of Coca-Cola. Like there's a whole myth around that. So creating stories that are memorable about your organization, maybe it's a culture story, what the culture is like, or a genesis story, for
Totally.
example.
I see what you mean. Yeah, so I would say SAP, I watched because I joined SAP in 2020, right? And Ayana, when did you join?
2022.
Okay, so I joined in 2020, so deep COVID. And we were at the very kind of like beginning of what I mentioned before of rebranding our organization from being, do you know what I mean when I say on-premise to cloud? Do you know, it's okay if you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so like selling ourselves as like on-premise solutions to cloud-based solutions. And that's a big rebrand of an organization. And there was this guy named Bill McDermott who was our CEO. He's now not our CEO anymore. And we rebranded him from our CEO to this young man named Christian Klein. And it was kind of like old to new, young. And so, yeah, like that's a new story of going from on-premise to cloud. And they changed the name kind of to Rise. They changed, they had a whole brand shift narrative, and they was like the Rise motion and Rise and so like we rebranded ourselves and now we are mostly a cloud-based organization. Mostly.
This sounds like a really big conversation, Kathryn. Yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about. I will probably like save it for you and Molly to have a deeper conversation in the breakout room. Yeah, well, we have a few other questions come through, and maybe we can finish those two questions and then get into the breakout room. A quick switch from the content strategy to career development for Chai. This is a question for Chai from Coco. To learn, Coco has a quick question about your career developments because you start as a content marketing manager and then transition into marketing data analytics. So how did you emphasize that data skills in the interview, especially because your previous role was not focused on analytics?
Yeah, for sure. So for my first role as a content marketing manager, back then I actually also used Google Analytics to track our company website's performance every month. And at that time, it was more about the basic reports that I share with the leaders every month, but it already like got me the taste of it and kind of introduced me the world of analytics. But I just didn't have the title and real experience. Like the experience was little, but I started like accumulating it and put together what I did when I got my interview with SAP. And when I had the interview, there are like 3 rounds. One of them was to analyze the mock data and present to a group of leaders and managers, including my current managers and the VP of digital marketing that I work closely with now. For that interviews, I just need to figure out what kind of insights would really make sense based on the data. And I also kind of self-learn a lot about Adobe Analytics because I know that's what SAP Concur is using. And back in Comm Lead, during that time, I also took a course called Data Storytelling. And I'm not sure if that course is still happening or not, but that course focused on Tableau, and it already it made me quite interested in data visualizations because I feel that not just the content, we also need data to back up the stories when we deliver something, so it's more compelling. So I kind of just gather what I had from my school projects, from my first full-time job, and then bring all of them together and present to the team that interviewed me. And I think that really helped. And actually a lot of skills and work, I acquired them when I got after I got the offer. So once I joined a team, I know I need to learn fast. I need to be familiar with multiple tools. So for those who want to maybe pivot their career, I would say that you don't need to be too nervous because none of my managers, they are experts when they started their careers. Everything builds up. So if you know what direction you want to go, then start small. Maybe go to Tableau or go to Adobe Analytics websites to see their undercodes, see what's the latest updates, then kind of just that would build up your knowledge. So yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Chai, for sharing your own career story. I think I can go one more question. Probably that question will for Ayana because you are a recent Comm Lead graduate. So Metri is asking, I think Metri is a new cohort 25 student. Is asking, as we prepare for course registration, could you please share what you'd recommend for building a career in digital marketing and content strategy? Should we focus on UX, UI design, or content strategy, or other specializations as well?
Yeah, thank you. It's a great question. And I don't know if I can give you like a very specific answer, but I think it really depends. So, first, digital marketing and content strategy, this term like covers very like broad areas of jobs, and like job titles are very different depending on the organization. So a content manager in one company might do exactly different thing from a content manager in another organization. So I guess if you feel like you are you have an idea of what kind of like digital marketing or content strategy job you want to do, then maybe focusing on more like classes where you can build up a portfolio and like learn more technical skills might help to actually, have something you can showcase at interviews and stuff. But for example, for me, I was somebody who didn't know like what digital marketing and content strategy related jobs are there in the world. So for me, I took like all different kinds of classes, and like that helped me kind of just understand what kind of like roles or jobs or like tasks are there in the marketing world and how these jobs are described. And so then after I felt like I knew what field I wanted to focus on, then you can start, taking classes, focusing on that area. So yeah, it really depends on like where you are at currently and like what you want to do. But yeah, first I think exploring like different options would be helpful too.
Yeah. And also, please, if you're a new student, talk with Heather. Heather Workle is our assistant director of academic services, and she will give you some advices as well. Thank you, Ayana. I think we have 1 more minute to get the last question answered. Kathryn, probably you can give a brief answer, and then we can get into the breakout rooms. It's from Matt Dare. Matt Dare is asking, what strategies do you have for balancing decision making based on data versus quickly adapting to chance and changing environments, in particular in the age of social media and instant news coverage?
Gosh, that's a that's a big question. Gosh, I mean, I think that listening, active listening and empathy, not just using not knee-jerk reactions, having a good listening to diverse perspectives and not I mean trusting your gut is good, but always having diverse perspectives is always really important. And then data informed decision making, like I mean, it's like, okay, here's how I'm reacting to this, here's what these diverse perspectives are. What does the data tell us? What does the research tell us? I mean, I think that those are really important things as well. And then I think that the other thing that's so important is to do something, because I think that a lot of times in especially high stakes, large organizations, I observe a lot of analysis paralysis of not doing anything. And that's worse than, that's the worst thing you can do. Like not doing anything is a really bad idea.
Agree. Yeah.
So choosing an action plan, just acknowledging that something needs to change rather than being like, we're going to do something and then not doing anything at all, and just being the leader, being a change leader and being positive. And I just think that clear is kind, and being a leader is not always being popular, but being clear and being like, okay, so we can't do all of these things, but we can do this one thing, is like kind and helpful. And Chai and Ayana, I don't know how you feel about this, but like, even if you're like, okay, here's this really lame news, we can't now given all of these horrible things, we wanted to do these 5 awesome things, but we can only do one of them, but we can do this one thing. At least we can still do this one thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say about that, is identifying the one thing and still moving forward.
Yeah, let's do something. Thank you, Kathryn. Thank you, Ayana and Chai, for joining us today to share your valuable insights. I hope like this session could inspire some more Comm Lead students to consider SAP as a potential employer or future employer at some point. And I believe they're happy to refer you or help you to get into SAP at some point. Okay, I think now let's move to the breakout room. If you want to continue the conversation with our panelists. So Lynn is our event support coordinator, and she has already created 3 breakout rooms. Now these rooms are open, and feel free to choose the one that you like to join to further engage with our alumni panelists. And if you finish the conversation with one person, you can always switch to another room. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and enjoy your breakout room conversation.